Well, it was really an outstanding year for the NC State women's gymnastics team. Phenomenal individual efforts, team efforts, and we are joined now by head coach Kim Landrus, who is, first of all, going to explain to us the college scene of gymnastics. Particularly, the ACC does not have a gymnastics league. There are three teams from the ACC that compete in the EAGL, the East Atlantic Gymnastics League. So kind of break it down for some who may not understand college gymnastics.
We have great pride in being part of the Eagle. Of course, it is always fun to compete against our conference foes, Pittsburgh and rival UNC. So we are very aware that they are ACC competition, even though we are in the Eagle. But also postseason, that's what we strive for as well every year. We want to be conference champs, but we also want to qualify for the NCAA postseason. And they realigned it recently, and so now regionals, you have a round one, a round two, a round three. Super exciting. So our goal this year was to get a first round bye. We were very well positioned to do that, finishing 23rd in the country. So unfortunately we weren't able to go and perform, but we definitely were, we were cruising to that spot. So that's something that all the ladies should be very proud of.
Let's just start going down the list of accomplishments. You were coach of the year. Your two assistants, Phil and Bob, were assistant coaches of the year. Lauren Kent was your gymnast of the year. Drew Grantham was the senior gymnast of the year. You had 15 academic all performers. So that's a successful year. How would you describe it going through it? And to see, like you said, it was not completed, but yet there is some reward at the end of the season with all of these accolades.
Absolutely. And I think it really goes back to that, you like every mile has 1,000 steps to it. And so they really, as you go through the season, you start off, and I remember it vividly with our team retreat. And just there were different milestones throughout the year that we would hit that would help us just kind of check that box, say, okay, we got this, we're moving on to our next goal. And so all the accomplishments at the end of the year is really just a reflection of the entire team, because we all did this together, and it wasn't me or Phil or Bob or Lauren or Drew, it was everyone. And so I really hope that everybody finds success in those awards, because really it's a reflection of the entire team effort and everything that they put in to achieve that success this year.
This is your third year you were at NC State, so you're climbing that program ladder. Where would you like to take it to the next step? What's the next step for the women's gymnastics program at NC State?
So we were in position to get that first round bye this year. And so next year, absolutely. First round bye, be in a position on the second day of postseason that if the opportunity presents itself, we're ready to walk it through that door. And that would require us to be in the top 16 in the country and be on the second night of postseason competition. There's always a door that opens, right? It's just what time does it open? What meet does it open at? And if we're ready, that's all I could ask for. And so I think we also want to be conference champs. I mean, we were regular season co-champs this year. We want to repeat next year. We want to be tournament champs. I think that this team really believes in the scholar athlete. And so it's not just about athletics, academics. I mean, the goal is for everybody to graduate with that degree that's going to propel them in life, right? And so I personally and my coaching staff and just the rest of the support staff take great pride in making sure that we prepare them for life after college.
Coach Landrus, you are a highly decorated gymnast yourself at Iowa State. What do you take from your athletic career that now translates into coaching, and what advice do you give your kids each and every day?
I just think patience, right? I think that you look at it from look at the telescope by looking in, not living in the telescope, because it's the culmination of a lot of small moments that will help each of them develop the success that they want to achieve. And so I look at my experience, and it wasn't that there was this pivotal moment where it was like, aha. It was like every day, right? Every day you bought in, you kind of went with the plan. and you had to trust the plan, and you had to believe in the plan, and you had to work hard and do all those, things that we really talk about with our core values, and just being there for one another. And so I think if I could mentor them in any way and, lead them, it would be the culmination of the days and the small moments will help you develop the success that you want to achieve.
How physically demanding is the sport of gymnastics? And we're not just talking about the day of competition. We're talking about the days that lead up to competition.
It's definitely physically demanding. If you don't go through all the steps that in the moment might not seem necessary, it creates injury, and it could increases the risk. And so your body isn't necessarily meant to do the crazy things that we do. Like, I think about just gymnastics in general, and I can take me for example. I went up, I twisted 3 times, and I landed on my feet, and it's like, whoa, right? But by training and really preparing yourself to one step at a time, go up that ladder, then all of a sudden your body's like, yeah, I can do it, right? And so it's physically demanding, but we, at State do it in a way that it's a very, very gradual increase. So I really believe in basics. I believe in drills. I believe in going through the process of, the phases. I always talk to the girls that we have like a learning phase, we have a refining phase, a competition phase, and then the postseason. And then after postseason, it's rest. So I really believe so much in rest and recovery. But then when we're in the gym, we got to take care of business and just make sure we do those little things right so our body responds in the way we want it to.
What role does personality play of the girls that are in competition?
It's just electric. The feeling, the thrill of competition is like no other feeling. And I think that's the tricky part of trying to mirror that in a practice, because the adrenaline that you get when you're competing is definitely different than the adrenaline you try to create every day in practice. But just being there with your teammates that we call family, and, all the sisters, which are each other, right? It's a thrill. It's like thrilling. You land that dismount. I mean, you will go back and you can read about different people's experiences when they were athletes. And it's like, you cannot recreate that feeling 10 years later, right? You'll never get that rush. You'll never get that feeling. And that's why I always say, like, embrace every moment. You're gonna fail, right? You're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay, right? Like, we're human, but embrace those moments to kind of catapult you to the next moment.
Spoken like someone who has seen the sport from the angle as an athlete and as a coach, Coach Kim Landrus. Thanks for joining us for this conversation. I think we've all learned a lot about the sport of gymnastics, not only at NC State, but at the collegiate level. Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you so much.